Imagine a beast so colossal that a modern African elephant looks like a mere calf standing in its shadow. This is the Paraceratherium. Welcome back to Extinct Earth. Today, we delve into the life of the absolute physiological ceiling for land mammals, the Paraceratherium. Standing nearly 5 meters at the shoulder and weighing up to 20 tons, this was the near-horn beast that ruled Eurasia. Standing tall, it shattered the scale of what we thought mammalian life could achieve. But how did a mammal reach such impossible dimensions, and what could possibly take down a 20-ton giant? Stay tuned to find out. The story of Paraceratherium begins in the Oligocene epoch, roughly 34 million years ago, a time when the world was changing and giants were rising. For over 10 million years, these giants dominated the vast, lush landscapes of Eurasia, from modern-day Pakistan to the Gobi Desert. They were the undisputed kings of their world, occupying an ecological niche like a modern giraffe, but on a much more massive scale. With a body mass of up to 20 tons, every step these titans took was a bone-shattering statement of dominance. They were roughly 3 times the weight of a modern bush elephant. Its skull was specialized for browsing, featuring low-crowned teeth and large incisors that functioned like tusks for stripping bark and snapping branches. A deep nasal incision in the skull suggests the presence of a muscular, prehensile upper lip, used to pull clumps of vegetation into its massive mouth. To fuel such a massive engine, the Paraceratherium was a dedicated high-level browser. Here are the 5 key items it likely consumed. First, soft woodland foliage like elm and oak leaves and nutrient-rich shrubs when high-canopy food was scarce. It also used its height to reach young, nutrient-rich shoots and snapped branches to access the cambium and inner leaves. Finally, it consumed vast quantities of bark and twigs, requiring up to 440 pounds of vegetation every single day to maintain its massive metabolic needs. Living such a massive life took time. Scientists estimate these titans could live into their 80s, a longevity essential for survival in a vast world. This long life allowed older individuals to retain environmental memories of distant water sources and seasonal feeding grounds across their vast home ranges. But bringing a new titan into the world was a dangerously slow process. Their reproduction was a test of patience and survival. A pregnancy likely lasted between 24 and 32 months, over 2 full years of development. When born, the calf was already larger than many modern mammals. It would take many years for a calf to reach its full 20-ton adult size, leaving them vulnerable to predators for an extended period of their life. This brings us to a common myth. How did the juveniles hunt? Well, the truth is quite different from what you might expect. How this Paraceratherium hunted is unknown by scientists, because as herbivores, they didn't hunt at all. They were peaceful giants, not predators. While they didn't hunt, they likely traveled in protective family groups, using their sheer size to safeguard their young from the era's apex predators. Their feeding mechanics were built for power. Their bite force was immense, designed to crush fibrous vegetation and strip bark from trees effortlessly. While an adult had no natural enemies, 5 predators posed a significant threat to the young and the weak. These were the true monsters of the Oligocene. First, the massive 10-meter crocodile Astorgossicus, which targeted calves at water sources with bone-shattering strikes. A truly terrifying threat. Second, the hyenodon, powerful apex land predators specialized for taking down calves that became separated from their mothers. Third and fourth were the bear dogs and Hyenalurus, hyper-carnivores that entered Eurasia from Africa, pressuring the dwindling populations of these giants. Finally, adult males of their own species were a threat. During mating season, calves were frequently at risk of being accidentally trampled to death during violent combat. Around 23 million years ago, the reign of the Paraceratherium came to an end. It wasn't one event, but a perfect storm of 5 key causes. Global cooling eliminated their primary food source, while the retreat of lush forests left these giants without the soft canopy leaves they needed to survive. Impact high. Invasion of gomphotheres from Africa created intense competition, and their slow reproductive rate meant populations could not recover from the environmental stress. Impact high. Finally, the uplift of the Himalayas fragmented their range and changed weather patterns, a medium-impact event that sealed the fate of the Titan. Discovered in 1910 by Clive Forster Cooper, these remains were once called the Indric Beast, named after a mythical giant from folklore. This discovery was significant for history. Today, you can stand in their presence at the Borisiak Institute in Moscow or the American Museum of Natural History in New York, where their massive skeletons still inspire awe. Significant fossils also reside in Beijing, Paris, and London, each location telling a different piece of the story of the largest land mammal to ever live. Which ancient creature should we explore next? Post a comment below to help make this channel even better, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Extinct Earth. I'll see you in the next era.